Hello and welcome to Moonheart Readings, viewers new and old. So before I do your reading today, I do just have to do something that I was asked to do when I was meditating last night. So God has asked me to, for anyone who's new, I do meditate every night and I receive communication from God, and quite often I share that in these readings before I actually do a card reading. The message at the start, by the way, is more important than the card reading, yeah? For those of you, well, there was only one really. There was one who said, why don't you put a timestamp on it when the actual reading starts? No, there are plenty of channels that you can watch and they just go straight into the cards and they'll tell you that you're about to meet the love of your life and that everything is perfect. So please feel free to switch over to those. But yeah, I have a message about humility. So I did touch on it briefly in one of my last two readings. I don't remember which one it was, but God wants me to talk about it a little bit more. So what he wants me to say is that humility is something that we are overlooking far too often. We've put so much emphasis on being confident that it's almost now an overconfidence. Yeah. You want to be careful that you're still in a state of surrender. Yeah. If you're not in a state of surrendering to God, that puts you in a pretty precarious position. Okay. Because if you start to enter the area, the territory of hubris, do remember that was the original sin. Yeah, that's what brought down Lucifer. And it's not going to be a huge leap, like one big moment where it happens. It's little steps. It's little steps in the wrong direction over a long period of time, and before you know it, you have become proud. And the thing with pride is, and this is what God told me, he actually showed it to me and then explained it to me, that, and I've written it in case I don't forget, so just bear with me. So yes, he did say pride is the greatest of all of the sins, yeah? And the reason for that is that you become like a hardened, uncrackable rock that lets no light in, and the light is the truth. So be very, very careful with that. Yeah, humility is extremely important. And he reminded me that was why he chose Moses. He didn't choose Moses because Moses beat his chest and said, I'm the best. He chose him for many reasons. He had many characteristics that made him a great leader, but the number one was his humble heart. So please bear that in mind, yeah? And people say, for example, you need to go to church to be a good Christian. I have, people correct me on Bible knowledge, yeah? I seem to get a lot of people wanting to correct me on this channel. But please remember that when God invited Moses up to meet him on Mount Sinai, he said, you can bring your brother Aaron. So Aaron was also a very humble man. Neither of them were particularly knowledgeable in the scriptures. They weren't, but it was their heart. Their heart was correct, yeah? Much more important than knowledge. He specifically said, you can come up, bring your brother Aaron, but do not let the priests and the people come up. So even the priests, isn't that interesting? Yeah? So please bear in mind that humility is probably the number one, I'm going to say trait that you need if you really, really want to follow God correctly, because everything else will follow from there. If you're humble, you will allow the light in. Okay. Now, I also want to say that even in the world of science, yeah, it's not just in the spiritual domain. Think about science, for example. So Einstein, he understood the value of humility. Yeah, he was very, very forthright about his mistakes, very transparent with them, and he was not too proud to disprove his own theories. Yeah, he was very humble, and that's one of the things that made him such a great scientist. Now, what is your message for the day? 1, 2, 3. Oh, come around here. Okay. Sorry, some of you will know it's a little bit difficult for me to shuffle because I sometimes knock my tripod over, so I have to be very delicate with how I do this. I'm kind of leaning over it. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Hostilities. Okay, that one came up in the last reading as well. Let me just move these out of the way. Okay, we'll probably have to sideline you. Oh, these are my crystals for those of you who've been with me for a while. So I made these with my sons, actually. They are rose quartz. They came out okay, yeah. Not going to win any awards, but they don't look too bad. Oh, okay, that's interesting. I instantly got a battle, by the way. There's a battle going. Oh, and this is the guy who comes from his heart. This is the guy who's humble. That's very interesting because should I divulge? I might hold on to that just in case. I don't know if I'm meant to share. Oh, God, I think they do want me to share. Okay, there are some scenarios where there have been a few, I'm going to say suitors, a few masculines hoping for a feminine's heart. And I was told, actually, that it is the man with the most humble heart who wins. And some of the others have been surprised by this. It's like a David and Goliath situation, yeah? They're like, what? She chose him? I don't get it. How could she choose him? He's so soft. He's such a softie. He's no warrior. Oh, but he is. He is, though. Right as I say that, this is a divine masculine. Solar plexus, yes. But in this case, I'm actually getting that this is one of the overconfident ones. Yeah. Maybe a little bit too turbocharged in the solar plexus. Yeah. Can't quite believe that this gentler masculine has actually come out on top. Yeah, because his strategy is love. Yes. Okay, this is an interesting reading. Gosh, I'm very keen to see what comes next. Okay, the world. Right, this is the only one I'm not getting anything from. Because this one, I've felt these really clearly, okay? So yes, there is somebody who, I mean, it's not like he strategizes, ooh, I'm going to be really, really sweet. No, it's just that is his approach to life. He lives life with a very open heart. And I'm getting that it's a very gentle heart, okay? So why do we have the world here, though? Is this a timing thing? Let's see. Look, I've had a lot of visits from Archangel Gabriel recently, and I'm very, very keen actually to do a reading on Gabriel. Yeah, when he blows that trumpet, that's divine timing. But okay, it's coming. There is something coming. Let's get a little bit more about this world card. Can we get some clarification, please? Yes, I'm really keen to do an Archangel Gabriel reading and also an Akashic record one. That's a request from one of my viewers. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, like once he blows his trumpet, it's done. 7, 8, and 9. And all the angels pay attention when he blows. Oh, again, action. Okay, so there's something coming in, but what? Oh, we do have a contract, and it is signed, sealed, delivered. What am I getting? Ooh, baby, here I am, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. Yeah. Rest up because it's coming. All right, but let's get a little bit more. I did have another deck that I was thinking of using, but I'm not feeling it. I'm going to stay with this one. This is charged up. 1, 2, 3. It's like a current of electricity running through these cards right now. 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay. What's going on over here? All tied up. Yeah, okay. I get a little bit more. There's too many cards, so. Happy family. Yes, yes. I did speak in my last reading about a birth. There is an incoming birth. Adjacent possibilities. See, that's to confirm. There were many suitors wanting to be in that position. Yes. Why do we have all tied up? Well, I feel like they can't get their head around it is what I'm getting. They can't quite get their head around it. Like, what? What? Okay, but that's a little side note. I want to go back down here. This is the row that I'm interested in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, goodness. Yes, I'm sorry. I was getting a leg cramp. I was not sitting in a very good position. I also want to say, just before I reshuffle them again, if this is not making any sense whatsoever to you, it could just be that first message was for you, okay? Sometimes the first message is connected to the readings. I mean, they are in the sense that we are talking about, yes, a man who, like Moses, has a very humble heart, okay? So they are connected, but it does not mean this storyline is necessarily for you. If it doesn't sound familiar and it's not resonating, please don't try and make it fit, yeah? Maybe you just needed to hear the first part. Okay, let's get a little bit more on this last row, please. 1, 2, 3. Now that I'm sitting comfortably. 1. I was kind of contorting myself to not knock down the tripod. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Oh, wowzers. Okay. I think he's coming up in almost every single reading lately. Okay, so Jesus, what do you want to say? Okay, I'm not sure about, yeah, okay, because literally the last reading I did was saying that there is a child that's going to be born. And it's called There's a Child That's Going to Be Born because Jesus says so. Okay, thank you for the reminder. He might be saying go and listen to that last reading, by the way. But let's get another message from you, please. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, he's in control of this. 7, 8, and 9. Yeah. Jesus really likes this guy, by the way. I do have to say that. He really, really likes him. He's not looking for perfection, Jesus isn't. Remember who he chose to surround himself with, yeah? His friends, yeah? And Mary Magdalene, I just saw this and thought of Mary Magdalene. And she's really, really been on my mind, actually, of late. I even bought a Mary Magdalene tarot deck. And I know that that is divinely inspired. I can feel her energy, actually. I'm getting this as Mary Magdalene, yeah? And he loved her. He loved her from the get-go. And she had 7 demons when he met her. Didn't care. He loved her anyway. She was the first that he chose to appear to when he resurrected. Oh, my goodness. See, I'm telling you. Yes. Goddess of the moon. This is Mary Magdalene. This is. Some people say she was his favorite. There are people who have other theories, and you know what I'm talking about, but I'm not going to say them on camera. I have spoken to him about it, and I know. Ask me privately if you want to know. Okay, what do you want to say about destiny, Yeshua? This is a woman who carries that energy in her, by the way, yeah? So this is a feminine. What I mean is she carries the Mary Magdalene energy, okay? She is not somebody who aspires to perfection, but she is somebody who literally, like Mary, would kiss his feet if he were in front of her, yeah? And that is humility. Oh, wow, what a message. That is humility. When you kiss someone's feet, what are you saying? This feminine would literally worship Jesus if she met him in the flesh, right? There is a humility in her heart, and there is a humility in this masculine's heart, and Jesus loves that. Okay, and there's the baby again, the sacral. Yeah, okay. Oh, what we get? Yeah, let's just get 2 more. 2 more in the bottom and we're done. 1, 2, 3. So I know I've gone a bit quiet, and it's because the energies are actually very overwhelming to me right now. In a very beautiful way, huh? In a very beautiful way. Thank you so much for turning up. Jesus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. His heart is his superpower, is what I just heard. Appreciation. See, I just said she would be kissing Jesus' feet if she met him. Yes, yes, there you go. She appreciates him. Community. Well, you know, I don't know why the thinking woman is there. Why are you there? That is very odd. Why did you just come out there, thinking woman? Now I'm going to need a clarifier. Because when I saw community, the first thing was I just felt disciples was what I thought. Because I said, who did he surround himself with? And this is the only card with lots of people in it, in the deck. So that's what that is. But what is this thinking woman? Why are you there? I knew it. Okay, I knew it. There is an attachment that some masculines have, yeah? And many of you who have been on the, let's call it the alleged twin flame journey, the alleged, yet there she is again, the alleged twin flame journey. Some masculines have certain attachments with feminines. It does not necessarily have to be a karmic partner. It can even be a mother. I know for some it is a narcissistic mother. Yeah, narcissistic overbearing mother. It could be a sister, could be an aunt, could be, you know, a karmic. Whoever it is, it's, yeah, because I didn't like the feeling of her I got. And she was kind of stuck to this, but not in a nice way. So I'm glad because it means I'm reading the energies correctly. And we did, I think the second last reading I did, I talked about attachments that need to be released. And I said, sometimes you need a sword to get rid of those. It's the only way. And then Archangel Michael came up, as I said that, with his sword. All right, will we get, I know I keep doing this, but 1, 2, 3. It's just such a powerful reading. All right, Jesus, one more, please. One more. Is there another one there? Oh, no, same one. Destiny. Okay. Destiny. Temple Path Destiny. 1, 2, 3, There's another meaning to this. Sorry, I have to interrupt myself because Jesus just told me to. This, because it came out with that, the attachment and that feminine card, yeah, the not nice feminine card, because it came out with that. The other meaning to this card is, yes, it's people in your community, meaning it can be your family, yeah, family members as well. But yes, attachments, negative attachments in your community. This is a time to start cutting them away. And that ties in actually to the last reading I did. 1, 2, 3, what I talked about masks coming off from the community, of the people in your community. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. All right, Jesus, what do you got? And there it is again. Yeah, okay. So for some of you, you really will need to sever ties with certain people before this child, he really wants to talk about it. Yes, before this child is born. Please go back and look at my last reading. There are certain babies who are basically just waiting. They're in the waiting room right now in the spirit world, waiting to come down to earth. But everything needs to be, oh, that's interesting. That was the other thing Jesus is telling me now. This is a new message. Certain people cannot be in your community if these children are to be born. Yeah. It will not be in their best interest. So please remove all low vibrational people from your area. Okay, that's an interesting word, from your area, because these children coming into the world are extremely special, extremely high vibrational, yeah, and it's like oil and water. They're just not going to mix. They're not going to mix. Yeah, well, this is, I'm not going to get into my story. In my case, this is not such a nice figure. Yes, he needs to go, but it's not my reading. Will we do one more? Oh, goodness. Garden and the Gate. Yes. Well, that is kind of like, this is sort of about that kind of just before you make that decision to leave. Yeah. But let's get one more. 1, 2, 3. How many times have I said let's get one more? I'm having too much fun. 1, 2. If you need to leave something, leave. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just go out the gate. 8, 9. Walk out the gate. Gabriel! Woohoo! We will finish now. We will finish now. There he is with his trumpet. Okay, walk out the gate because it actually is time now. This is the time. I said I want to do a reading on Gabriel because he keeps coming up. He's really, really making his presence very, very strong. And just to confirm, what did I just say? I said go out the gate. And she is going out the gate because, yeah, Gabriel is the announcer, yeah? When Gabriel blows that trumpet, it's time, okay? God says it's time. Jesus says it's time. Walk out the gate if you need to, okay? You have, oh my goodness. I mean, I want to say you have their approval, but that's a bit of an understatement, isn't it? I can't find, it's not even you have their permission. I don't even know what the word is. I really am feeling very overwhelmed. The energies are very, very strong behind this whole thing. This is very beautiful. Please know that you are you're in the best hands, aren't you? What else can I say? All right. Thank you so much, Jesus, for coming to this reading again. We are so grateful for everything that you are and everything that you bring us. And we accept your light with open hearts. God bless.